On the road, we've got some issues already with water covering some roadways in Wisconsin. So very concerned around Colfax. Let's see, Highway 63 is one of the spots. Ellsworth, another spot. I think it was 110 I saw with some water covering parts of it. So you know the drill. If there are barricades, turn around, don't drown. If there are not barricades, but you still see water covering a roadway and you can't see the road surface, turn around and go the other way too, because worried about this rainfall. I mean, look at all this rain already that we're starting the day with, and we've had heavy rain across this area over the past 24 hours. This complex of storms has been sitting right here, and it has been causing some issues. We've seen it in the Twin Cities, now into eastern or western parts of Wisconsin, dealing with that rainfall. So in the forecast for today, if we get, at least to the morning, and by the way, the flood watch we have in Minneapolis goes through 10 a.m., lingering effects from that rainfall overnight. And then right through the afternoon and evening, we're going to get these flare-up of showers and storms over across eastern Wisconsin, down into northern parts of Illinois, including Chicago. This is not going to be an easy ride about 6 o'clock. If you're trying to get home for dinner on time tonight, beware that these storms are going to be adding to a slow drive. Heavy rain a possibility. And Minneapolis, overnight, another round of rain. Hopefully no flooding, Steph.
Yeah, well, flooding is one of the most expensive natural disasters in the U.S., costing millions of dollars. And today, an organization is releasing new data that would allow homeowners and buyers to find out if they're at risk for losing one of their largest investments. But let me tell you, we know the fireworks are already starting to go off in some neighborhoods across the country here, and the parties have already started. One keeping me up late last night. Chicago, 91, a nice hot one here for the 4th of July. Bismarck, you're going to be 10 degrees hotter than Atlanta, and the same heat will be happening in Dallas as it is in North Dakota. Just blows my mind, right, that it's going to be that hot. We will stay dry and in the 70s here across the West Coast. So into the Northeast on our Saturday, some thunderstorms. The good news is a lot of these thunderstorms tend to die down once we lose that daytime heating. And that, of course, we've got to wait late this time of year until we get that sunset in order to get the fireworks to go off. So that should hopefully help us here. So even though you see these thunderstorms, don't get too stressed out yet, because a lot of those will die down before, we get the fireworks going off. It's going to be a hot one and a dry one here into Cleveland, Louisville, St. Louis. So it's looking pretty good for our Saturday if you're going to be out on the lakes. Or how about in the west? It's going to be pretty dry overall for us, but hot into places like Salt Lake City and down into Phoenix and Vegas, per usual, right? That's where we see the heat. So here's a look at the canceled fireworks display. There are cities here. Curious about this graphic. Yeah, Jen, we're going to go over to you. We'll have a check of this a little bit later.
Yeah, well, we need to talk about actually the fireworks and the West. Every morning at 50 past the hour, we're going to share a little wisdom by opening our weather classroom and answering your questions about the weather. And today's question comes from John. He asks about dry lightning. Is it a real thing, or is it something our grandparents made up? And I know everyone's grandparent probably talked about dry lightning or even heat lightning too, but let's talk about dry lightning because it is a real thing, actually. This is something that happens often when we have thunderstorms that develop. And think about just the typical way a thunderstorm develops, right? You get your thunderstorm cloud building up, lots of humidity in the atmosphere, and if there's a lot of humidity, then you get that rain that comes all the way down to the ground. And that's your typical thunderstorm with lightning. Thunder, you hear it all, you get the rainfall. However, when there's a low humidity situation, you have your thunderstorm cloud building, but the base is just so high and the atmosphere is so dry that rain evaporates before it gets down to the ground. And this is what we're going to see happen in the west, especially the southwest, where it's been so dry lately. Relative humidities are running very low. Thunderstorms that form will probably be very high base, and with that, dry lightning is possible. So across the zone, we've got that risk for fires that could be started by lightning, and that would come from a thunderstorm that, we would say, yes, dry lightning out there. There's thunderstorms, there's rain way up high, but it's not getting all the way down to the ground. And so that's one of the concerns in this zone today, but also the fact that the winds are going to be gusty, we have that low relative humidity, and the heat is up as well. All right.